What's up, everybody, and welcome to what we like to call here at USPBL, Tossing It Around the League. My name is Carol Wolfbauer, and today I'm here with Luke Drummond. Luke, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Kara?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we know the fans want to hear from you guys. Everyone's antsy to get up to our 2023 season. So I think this is a really good way to let our fans know that you guys are getting ready too.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm looking forward to it. I hate not being in season. Like off season's the worst part of the year.
It's difficult because all you think about is the different ways you want to get better, and you can practice on your own time, but you can only be serious and play the game competitively in certain instances. So it's difficult to be away.
Yeah.
I know you were originally from Tampa, Florida, correct? And
Yeah.
then you played in Alabama in college, and now you're up here in the Midwest with us in Michigan for professional baseball. So tell me what it's like to move from three different spots and end up somehow playing baseball up here in the Midwest.
Uh, well, I've always, born and raised in Florida, and I've always liked being in Florida, but, you know, growing up playing travel ball with how it is now, you kind of move all over the country in high school during the summers, no matter what. So I've always thought it's very cool to experience different parts of the country. And so I went to Alabama, which honestly isn't much different than Florida. But being in Michigan's a lot different. The weather's a lot cooler in the summer, which is nice, but I get to skip out on the winters, so that's always fun.
Yeah, so the lucky one, you get to go home when it gets cold here.
Yeah, temperature stays about the same.
Yeah. Well, coming here and getting to play for us in the summer and having to leave home, tell me how USPBL helped you make that adjustment and move over here.
I think they made it pretty simple. I mean, pretty much as soon as I was, told to drive to Michigan, they got me a place to stay, like in the apartments with other teammates, and like we got to pick up stuff to help us cook right away, and they just made the transition seamless because I kind of came at the last second last year. But I had people to talk to, like Paul Nochi and like Mike Zelensky. They helped me a ton.
It's super awesome because we want it to be seamless. We
Mhm.
want you to feel comfortable when you come here. It's a great place to develop and keep getting better at baseball. So that's what we want. We want you guys to be comfortable when you get here.
Yeah.
Mhm. So what would you tell some of the new guys who are maybe making those adjustments, coming from other places? What advice would you give them about coming to our league?
I think the advice I would give people coming to the USPBO was it'd be take advantage of the league that you're in, because unlike most other leagues where you have to travel half of the summer and you play games 6 out of 7 days of the week, we don't do that as much, and it's really helpful to be like we're at one stadium, we're playing the same teams every day. You can like wake up in the same bed every day. You can go lift. Like you get to keep a routine, keep a schedule, and I think it helps us like get better as we're competing instead of other leagues where I think the focus is all on the competition, and then maybe you try to maintain, but you can't. It's harder to grow like that, like on buses and hotels and stuff.
So you are our first pitcher of the series. We've had field players so far. So tell me what it's been just being a pitcher in the USPBL.
Uh, I mean, being a pitcher is, I pitch out of the bullpen most of the time, and I think it's always great because whenever I get to go down like fifth, sixth inning to get ready to maybe come in at the end of the game, I get to like stretch, and usually I'll talk to the fans or sign kids things, and I think that's like a really fun and unique experience I get like being a pitcher out of the bullpen. I think it's really fun to have that interaction, and I'm somebody who does their best when I'm like very loose and relaxed, and I think that helps me with that part of it too. I don't get too tense because I have like, fans there that can like keep my mind off of how important the game may be.
How did you get to this point? Tell us how you got to us.
Uh, I feel like I took a road that a lot of people did. I was a pretty good ball player in high school, and really wanted to focus on academics. So I went to a Division 3 school where I couldn't get baseball money, but I could really focus on school and baseball at the same time.
Mhm.
And injury and COVID prevented me from playing as much as I wanted to there, but I think I did good in my senior season when I could, and graduated, got my degree, and then once that was out of the way, I really dedicated myself to wanting to continue to play baseball, and I went to the California Winter League. in January, February of last year, and that's where I
Mhm.
met Paul Nochi, who was kind of the representative of the USPBL, and I pitched really well there. And Paul and I had a good relationship, even though he was a coach for another team, and he invited me to come play.
Awesome. Well, what are you hoping that USPBL can do for you here? What are you hoping to get out of your experience here at Jimmy John's Field?
I think like anybody that plays independent baseball, we hope to go on and play affiliated ball, and I mean, everybody wants to get better and go play in the big leagues, and that's everybody's dream. And I think the USPBL is a great place to develop, and we have guys there who can get you onto that next step.
Yeah, for sure. Because we have had a lot of guys go on. So it's
Mhm.
super cool to see that experience happen and knowing that USPBL got to play a huge role in that. So it's really
Yeah,
cool to see new guys coming in, knowing that you guys might be the new fresh faces entering the league.
yeah, no, it's always cool having like you can see scouts during some games talking to like Nochi or Shane, like asking about guys, and then it's always, it makes it feel like every game's important, knowing that like anybody could be in the stands watching you.
Yeah, it's super cool. So I know you talked about earlier seeing the different kids and the fans in the stands and like what it means to you. So you were just a kid playing baseball at one point, and tell me if you remember a moment where you realized baseball really meant something to you, where a moment where you knew you wanted to try and keep playing.
I would say the biggest moment I had for that was going to watch the high school that I ended up graduating from in a regional game, because I was went to watch one of my friends' big brothers play, and we got to see them play a lot in high school.
Mhm.
And there's two really good pitchers on the mound. The one for King, the school that I went to, his name was Brett Morales. He ended up playing at Florida and played some in affiliated ball. But he gave up a home run, I think, early in the game. And just seeing how he responded, because he was throwing like low 90s at that point. I think the very next pitch after he gave up the home run was like 96, and he just sat there and competed the rest of the game. And I think that was where I was like, wow, like that was really impressive, and I'd like to be like that one day.
Yeah, so that's super cool you got to watch that experience happen and end up where you are today.
Mhm.
So I know unfortunately you guys played really well last year, but you ended up leaving in our first round of the championship weekend. So tell me how you plan to come back and bounce back this coming season, just like how you talked about the pitcher did in your story.
I think we have a lot of key guys who are returning again, and like Marcoux, I think Shelly's coming back. I'm coming back. I think a few of our other pitchers are, and I think we got really hot at the end of the year, and you know, with one game playoffs, like anything can happen. But I think if we just kind of hold that momentum that we had towards the end of the year, and just keep that going, that we can have a good season. It's kind of one thing we all started to say when we wanted to turn the season around was just win the week, because usually we play 3 games in a week. Just
Mhm.
win 2 out of 3, focus it one game at a time. Just stay positive during the week, and I think that mindset really helped us.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. So do you have a favorite memory from last season? I know you mentioned some of the guys. It could be in baseball, outside of baseball, and the relationships you developed. Just something, a memory that really stuck out to you.
Uh, the thing that I look back on most fondly was kind of the times that like me, Mike DeSanti, Juan Lopez Rios, and then Walker Paz, we were all roommates at the beginning of the year, and it was kind of a thrown together group of people. It felt like, I mean, I got there last second, but for some reason we just really clicked, and we had I mean, it felt like college again, but instead of having to go to school, we just got to go play baseball all day. So I mean, just hanging out with those guys was always an amazing time.
Was there anyone on the Hoppers that had already been here previous season that was kind of able to take you under their wing and help you out as you came to the league?
Nick Kreitzer was the biggest help. I mean, like he would be the person to like answer any questions you had. He got me like hooked up to work at the stadium during the games I wasn't playing. And then once I met his host family, I helped him at the diamond tables one time. They invited me to come to like their family game nights, so I'd like go with him every Tuesday night to his host family's house and go to like family game nights. And yeah, I mean, he was a huge help like on and off the baseball field.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And I hope you can do that for you could be your new Nick Kreitzer for new people coming in this next season.
Yeah, he's a fan favorite for a reason. I mean, he's an awesome dude. He'll help you with anything if you ask.
So tell me how special it is with having a host family, how you got to maybe see Nick or other players, how you think that connection bonds and helps them or even helped you that you got to see them with baseball here.
Well, I got with the host family for like the last month of the season
Okay.
at the end of that, and I mean they were extremely helpful. I mean they like it's amazing how people would just let you sleep under their roof, and they would sit down with me for dinner. They had my parents over when they came up for games. I mean, it's like just really they go above and beyond for people who like they don't even know if they're gonna get a good kid or not. So like I couldn't imagine letting somebody like live with me like that. So it's just it was a great experience.
Good. I'm glad. I think like we talked about earlier, having that personal experience contributes to being a better baseball player. So I think
Mm,
it's really important to have that support system there with you while you can't be with your family, but you have your little host family. You have a family there.
yeah.
Hmm. And you got your guys on the field, which are like your family, your home away from home.
No, yeah, yeah. Everybody gets really close. I mean, you see him every day, so.
Hmm. I know you talked about too how Nick Kreitzer helped you get into the working at the field as well. So tell me a little bit about that experience, like how it benefits you guys, how it benefits the players, and how you get to interact with the fans in that way.
I mean, I would recommend anybody to do it because I know like some other people, like I would go watch the games anyways. So like you might as well do that, like if you're gonna go see the teams play. But like depending on where you work, if you do like the diamond tables, you get to see the same families over the season because people will come to multiple games. And I think it's just really interesting how they just like once you tell them you're a player, they just kind of want to get to know you, like where you're from, what your story is, and you can just kind of develop that friendship with them.
Hmm.
Where it's more than just like it's more than just like a normal like fan relationship. Like you feel like you have like a personal connection to them.
Well, we're super excited to have you back. So thank you for wanting to return with us.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm really excited to come back. It's always my favorite part of the year.
Mhm. Well, I'm sure all the fans are really excited too. So thank you for joining us today. And thanks, fans, for tuning in. Make sure to check out some of our previous episodes. And hopefully, soon enough, we'll see you right back here at Jimmy John's Field. Make sure to check out all of our Tossing It Around the League series as it continues towards May 19th. Once again, I'm Kara Wolfbauer. This was Luke Drummond, and we'll see you guys soon.